Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are at. I hope you're having a fantastic day. It's SoulSaint here, and we got a big update that's coming up. We got some more information that we're going to be posting about what we believe to be the new clan war system that's going to be coming into play. So I'm actually going to, we did a little bit of a teaser reveal of what was to come and what, like, how the terrain and how the map is going to look like. And now this is going to be an expansion upon that. So if you guys haven't already checked that video, make sure you go take a look at it. Also, we're going to go ahead and break it down. It's going to start with the Stronghold as well as some maybe teased items. Maybe you guys can help me out and decide what those are. Anyways, with that being said, the Stronghold, it says the Stronghold is the most important building in the clan fortress. A siege battle cannot be won without capturing it. Interestingly so, it kind of reminds me of like Guild Hall or like a Great Hall, kind of similar to some other games that I'll kind of point some possibilities that it may be reminiscent of. But let's go ahead and break down what they kind of give us a structure on, and I'll give my 2 pennies on it, basically, in a summary word. So, there will be only one stronghold per clan fortress at release, but we'll add more with the introduction of additional layers. So, maybe there's like going to be like tiers or layers to our stronghold, which will allow us to add more. And I think they actually even talking about it. So, before I go into speculation, let's keep reading. Like all buildings, your stronghold can be upgraded from level 1 to level 3 through the clan's joint efforts. Other buildings on the layer cannot have a higher level than the stronghold. So, basically, the stronghold is going to be the main dictator of like what's going to be upgradable and whatnot. So you have to prioritize the stronghold, which will allow you to bring everything else up on top of that. So that's kind of cool. Strongholds provide a layer bonus to all defense teams fighting on that layer. Only the clan leader or clan deputies can activate the layer bonus. The stronghold can hold between 12 and 18 defense teams depending on its level. Capturing the opposing clan's stronghold is one of the victory conditions in siege battles. Defending your stronghold or capturing the opponents will yield extra rewards for every clan member at the end of the siege. Let's read that one more time. Defending your stronghold or capturing the opponents will yield extra rewards for every clan member at the end of the siege. Now, they talk about rewards, but we really haven't heard specifically what they're going to be. I am going to show you guys some of the other potential things, and we're going to kind of like maybe rationalize, and I'll just throw my 2 pennies out there and see if it sticks, you know? The first one is this a new resource? Try to guess what it's for. So right off the rip, it kind of looks like a chess piece almost, to be honest with you, what first glance, like appearance of it. Then again, I also thought about how it could be very reminiscent of like maybe a potion. So I'm actually going to go in a game here real quick and see if we can find a commonality between it. So one of the things I noticed was that like our potions in general, they kind of lean towards that same direction. So I wonder if this has to do with like ascension potions, which is what this is right here, or maybe, just maybe, even awakening potions, and it doesn't matter the champion. I'm curious. I'd be very surprised if that's the thing, because it kind of has a lot of importance when it comes to this the altar of souls and you know, getting blessings and awakening your champions and whatnot. But in the same lieu of things, it does have the same angle, the same approach to how like the potions look in general. So I'm curious to see if maybe this is the case. It could be a way to fully ascend a champion. You know how like we have brews and whatnot in our game where you can kind of get levels for a champion, and then you have a barrel that does all of it. The same thing is also possible with like chickens, and then of course a feast, which will do all of it for you, right? Maybe this is a potion that allows you to fully ascend a champion, very similar to how you have the potions for a champion, which are like the equivalent to a brew or a chicken, and then you can have the big feast or the big barrel to kind of finish get to the finish line, and this could be a finish line type of item. So that's my first guess, or my first set of guesses. Maybe it's something totally different. Who knows? This right here, my first glance at this was that like it looked like a rock. I'm just gonna straight up say it, like a boulder of some sort. It's maybe a little bit. Then it looks like kind of like a helmet. You know, like these might be like the pads kind of similar to. The only one I can think of that may have something similar to that right off the rip would be like maybe a Harma. You know, I have like the helmet overall, and then like has like a little bit of like a top end for the dome part of it. You know, like maybe something like that. Maybe that's like the front part of like the helm. Cool. Maybe we're getting a new set to work with. Maybe it isn't similar towards like what a rock is like, right? So what are rocks in this game? And the only thing that comes to mind when it comes to like dealing with rocks in particular would be like taking a piece of equipment, and let's see if we can find like a pretty like okay piece to work off of. We'll just go ahead and do this real quickly so you can kind of see it. Would be like Chaos Ore, right? So I thought about that, like maybe that's a different style approach to the ore that you see right here, like maybe this is complementary to it, or maybe, and this is my guess just off the rip, and maybe you guys can tell me what you think it is. If it is something in line with like ore and reworking, one of the things I noticed is that like in my particular pieces of gear, let's see if I can find one. As a matter of fact, I think I just farmed up a piece for our currently existing Savage experience where we had like a really good piece, like for example this, right? So you're in a Savage set, you want damage stats, and speed's good, defense percent really good for like a defense nuker, or maybe someone who's trying to be a little more tanky on top of their main priority stat, crit damage for more output obviously, but the resistance, is that something that you particularly care about? Not really if you're trying to just get raw damage output. And what's even worse is that it's the red ascension or awakened portion of the gear piece. In terms of I call it the red roll. So like the red roll went into resistance, which is also more unfortunate. Well, you would possibly just rework the entire piece if it didn't roll well, or if it had like, if it was just bad stats in general. But what if you wanted to at least keep one stat, or maybe you wanted to keep only a certain piece of stat and you only wanted to roll one particular substat? Maybe this ore that we're looking at, or potentially an ore, this rock that we has the magical capability of maybe giving us the opportunity to just straight up take a piece and only fine-tune it for what we want it for. That'd be bonkers. That'd be game-changing, actually. And I think that would be something that I would be very, very excited to approach, because there's a lot of pieces that are pretty decent, pretty good, but you could take it to the next level by being able to take that one stat that's kind of a throwaway and give it something you really want, you know? And that gives you so much more building for compositions or build strategies, a lot more flexibility, a lot more diversity, a lot more expansiveness, which is kind of cool. One other piece that we're going to talk about today is going to be this scroll. Now, my first thought was, what scrolls do we have in the game? Well, my first couple of notches I was going to throw right out the rip is going to be inside the game. They have, I believe, in the gym shop, a name changer. And I was like, well, there is a name changer there. That already exists, so it can't be something like that. But if it was like a name changer of some capacity, maybe for clans, especially since this is a clan-oriented update, maybe they do like a clan name changer. That could be one thing. You know, maybe you guys were memeing with your clan and you didn't expect it to be as big as it is. Next thing you know, it's actually something kind of dope, and you're like, all right, well, we need a more menacing name, and, you know, maybe they throw that in there. I don't know. That's my first guess. My second guess could be one other thing that we have that's scroll-like, in my opinion, is masteries. So, if you look here at the very top, it's like it's a closed scroll. Like, it's already closed, it's already sealed up. Maybe, just maybe, this scroll right here is the ability to go ahead and fully mastery a champion out, instead of having to go and buy gems, which is still a way to do it. This is a much more in-game obtainable way to acquire being able to fully mastery out without having to go and just straight up farm or spending gems that you save up. So I thought maybe that could be the case. Let's see here. Another thing that I have to give a nod to, or someone in there, I think it was either a content creator named Palomas or somewhere in the content creator channel, they made a mention to this, and I thought this actually would be kind of a cool way to introduce it. You know how we have like books and what's called tombs for upgrading abilities in the game, upgrading skills? We have, very similar to my previous approach in other items, you have like a brew that gives you a little bit of energy, a little bit of experience, and you have the barrel that gives you the full experience. The same thing could also be true for like your books, your tombs, or a way to get maybe one particular ability upgraded to one level. Or the scroll could be to take every ability and max them all the way out. So like a quality of life maybe. And that's what the possibility of some of these items could be. And I thought that would be like a very interesting way to approach giving more to the player, especially if it's going to be like a resource that is obtainable, that you can farm towards. I think that would be interesting. And they may have like different tiers for it. So your rares, your epics, your legendaries, and of course your mythics now that they exist in the game. Could be like a great way to add like quality of life. Like, all right, you know, instead of having to farm for one book here, one book there, you could slowly make progress towards getting a big scroll that'll like fully tap into all the abilities of a champion, which I think that's kind of cool. It could be something totally different. Like, you guys got to let me know. What do y'all think it is? Is it a potion? Is it a chest piece? Is it a rock? Is it a helmet? Is it a scroll for masteries? Is it a scroll for clan name changes? Let me know. I'm very curious. And with that being said, are you guys excited for this Clan Wars approach? The Stronghold having various different iterations to it that's going to help dictate the flow of how the rest of the terrain is going to also be upgradable. I'm very, very curious. With that being said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and as always, always remember, stay ascended.
got the juice.